Welcome to this exclusive lesson podcast. We're going to go over some of the web visitor questions that we didn't get a chance to go through in the Arrival Behind the Glass program. Now, tons of visitors to russmiller.com ask questions every day, and we pick some of the best ones to feature in the Arrival Behind the Glass concepts and technique session. Because of time constraints, we weren't able to do them all, of course, so we're going to take some of the better ones and answer them here in these exclusive podcasts. So, for this podcast, we have a question from Michael in Atlanta. Thanks for that question, Michael, and I think what you're referring to are diddles that I play with between the left and right feet on the double pedals. And I use two different stickings to do this. I use it in several different ways. The first is as an ostinato underneath the hands for like a drum solo idea. And also in a solo, it's a great call and answer idea where I maybe call or play a figure on the snare drum and then answer or mimic that on the bass drums. Now, I first used this idea when I was coming up with one of the drum soli etudes on my solo album Symbolism, and I created a couple different drum solis for that particular project. And one of them was called the three-legged bembe. And basically it was utilizing the left foot to play the hi-hat and the secondary double pedal, slave pedal at the same time. To create this rhythm, I basically ended up playing straight eighth notes on the hi-hat, and it sort of sat inside of this triplet pulse. So we'll go over both stickings and how this thing comes together. The first sticking that I use to create this triplet diddle pattern with the bass drums involves a left, right, right sticking. So I'm leading with the left foot, and so all the downbeats will be on the left foot, and then the second and third partials of the triplet would be on the right foot, and that would sound like this. Okay, now here's that sticking a little faster so you can get how it's used in a practical way. Okay, the second sticking that I use for this particular concept is a right-left right triplet sticking. And the reason that I do this is because I end up actually playing kind of the samba-ish pattern on the right foot. And I talked about this. I do the same thing with a double stroke roll on the bass drums, and I talked about this in the concepts and technique session of the Behind the Glass project. So this is an example of the right, left, right triplet sticking with the double pedal. So you can see what happens is I end up playing that boom, 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 right, left, right, left, right, right. It's kind of like a samba, but evened out in a triplet form. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Okay, and it feels comfortable to me like that, and also I like to come out of it at the end of a fill with that, right. It's nice and strong, and it just feels comfortable to me. So first sticking, left, right, and the second sticking, right, left, right. Okay, let's go back to the first one, left, right, and I'll show you how to go ahead and add this diddle into it with the left foot. Here's an example of adding the diddle very slowly. Okay, what you're going to notice is that I basically am playing the downbeat on the left, and then right is the second and third partials of the triplet. If I add the upbeat or the and of the beat 1 and 2 and, okay, just like it's straight eighth notes with the left foot. That second note that I'm playing on the and creates the second note of the diddle. It just falls right inside of there, and it's a very common pattern, actually. It's kind of a 3 against 2 pattern, but the way that it falls in this particular sticking with the feet, it creates this diddle with the left foot. So I'll give you an example of that. Okay, now here's that same sticking and creating the diddle by playing the straight eighth notes on the left foot a little quicker. Okay, now for those of you who have the Symbolism album and you're familiar with the drum solo etude, the three-legged bembe, here's an example of how I did that left foot pattern where I use both pedals with the left feet to play a Wiro style pattern on the hi-hat and create this diddle on the left slave pedal at the same time. And it's basically the exact same rhythm. It's just where I put my hi-hat and I use my heel to splash and open the hi-hat on the third note of each hi-hat figure. So here's an example of the foot pattern, the feet pattern, from the three-legged bembe on the Symbolism album. Okay, so now let's take a look at the second sticking, the right, left, right sticking. And what's going to happen here is you're going to end up with the diddle not on the second partial of the triplet, but on the third partial of the triplet. So you'll be adding a small little note at the very end of the 3-note phrase, okay? So right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So you'll end up with that sort of diddle, but it's going to even out. Okay, here we go. This is an example of the right, left, right sticking and then adding the diddle on the third partial with the left slave pedal. Okay, so that's how the two stickings come together to create this particular double pedal concept. Now we're going to play a section of the Sanaga Shuffle, which is another drum solo that I wrote and put together for the Yamaha PHX Phoenix drum video. And it's been all over YouTube and a lot of people have seen it and asked me about it. So it involves the same concept. We'll play an excerpt of that and you'll get an idea how to use it in a couple different ways in a solo idea. Okay, thanks for joining me on this exclusive lesson podcast. Join me again where we run through several of the web visitor questions from russmiller.com that we weren't able to get to in the Arrival Behind the Glass Concepts and Techniques session. Thanks for joining me.